Here is an author's note to play the last metaphor. I need to learn how to write introductions. I am more fragmented than my characters. It had been 2 months since I had written a word. I was angry with myself. I broke my pen. I burned the pages. The muse had left. I entered my room and sat in a chair. The chair broke as I began to type. The muse returned and sat outside. No one had read The Guilt, the muse told me. It didn't touch a single heart in the country, claiming to arrange literary festivals. I was disgusted with writers and readers. I'm not Fitzgerald and cannot drown my failure in liquor. I drink coffee, and coffee is an enemy of liquor. I don't want to write. I'm still guilty after writing The Guilt. But the work didn't make readers guilty. The muse looks at me, but I look away. I prefer to teach, but it doesn't bring peace. Gamma is hitting the typewriter. Shera is fixed on the audience. Billa is punching Shera. The dancer is dancing on the stage in the same spirit. Gatsby looks at Daisy's castle by throwing his arms forward. Characters of The Guilt are dying for not being heard. Where is the audience? Where is the reader? Nobody knows. Characters are breathing their last, but the audience is invisible. Probably they are cursed not to have a spectator. It is their fate, and they can't change it. Despite triggering The Guilt, Mastana hasn't left me yet and reminds me that The Guilt hasn't changed anything. My art is a waste, I realized when I woke up. My phone rang up and I attended the call. A student from a university informed me that he wants to write a thesis on my work. I disconnected the phone and sat down on the ground. In Pakistan, only students are interested in art because they want to complete their MPhil and PhD dissertations. They're afraid of plagiarism. Hence, they search for new writers. And the interest in new writers is merely to complete degrees. Where is Theatron? Where is Aeschylus? Where is the Greek audience? Where is chorus? The muse is silent. I was traveling from Mandi Bhavdeen to Gujarat when I heard the squeaking of the bones and the van came to rest. I came out of the van and saw that a dog had been crushed by the van. The conductor called me in, but I was fixed at the bones. The driver drove the van. Suddenly, another van came, and before I could stop, it crushed the face of the dog again. I could do nothing. I was guilty again. I even couldn't dare to move the body. I sat down and started writing in anguish. The result was the last metaphor. Thank you so much for hearing me. It was the introduction. Now I want to read a speech from the second act by a character, Jugno, and he had seen the violence done to two boys by a crowd, and here he describes to his friend Banka, who actually cannot understand him. And we see in the play that he tries to talk to Jugnu, but actually Jugnu doesn't get engaged because Jugnu's mind is on the road. And here actually he is recreating that scene he saw on the road when two brothers were brutally beaten to death by a crowd, which is quite common in Pakistan. I, Jugnu the gangster, sobbed with an eye. Firefly I was, closed my light and withdrew my wings. I hid myself in the bush. With one eye opened, I saw that skulls were motionless. Bees stopped buzzing and flowers withheld their smell. The sun shot its arrows towards the people who held the two brothers and threw them down. I saw from a hole in the leaf that hands of both were tied. A lizard pointed out that a tall man had a chain of iron. A group of 10 to 15 people pounced upon them. Audience also stood around watching the show. A leaf trembled and I looked upwards. The roots coiled within the bush as blood dropped on the earth. I came out of the bunch of leaves. I saw glint in the blood. A gust of wind stormed the tree and there was silence again. The brothers were dead within 10 minutes. 5 minutes later, a crow noticed that the boys were being beaten. The boys were dead and only the crow knew it. They were innocent, but were declared terrorists. Their bodies were dragged on the untarred road. Asphalt stuck to them. Thank you.